blinded by the ones I lost, connecting lines of which we crossed, which we crossed. Dropped off the scene that side, wishing to have one more fight left in me. The life I see, what's left in me. Burning bridges to the ground. Take away what's left of me. Burning bridges to the ground. Blinded by the light ahead, thought about just what you said. Connecting lines is what you planned. After all, let's take a chance. Turning dust into diamonds, turning love into guidance. A second chance, let us commence. That's what I left. The life I see, what's left in me. rejection. Drop the clutch, pedal to the floor. Turn that giddy button to a lion's roar. Dream machine, racing queen, I'll take you wherever you wanna go. Let's slow this down, break the speed of sound. Tonight we own the road. Dream machine, racing queen, you make my heart beat. You make my heart beat. Dream machine, racing queen, you make my heart beat. You make my heart beat. Red light on the highway, blue light flashing behind me. Dream machine, racing queen, you make my heart beat. You make my heart beat. Dream machine, racing queen, you make my heart beat. You make my heart beat. Dream machine, racing queen, you make my heart beat. You make my heart beat. Red light on the highway, blue light flashing behind me. Dream machine, racing queen, you make my heart beat. You make my heart beat.
The back and forth has got me so messed up. Don't ignore the signs. We've had enough of the whole damn thing that we got going. You hold the strings without me knowing. Why do I have to suffer through the thinking? Why do I have the feeling that we're sinking? I need to find a way, find a way, find a way, find a way out. Find a way out. Find a way, find a way out. Find a way out. Find a way, find a way out. What's all this for? It's got me turned around, but I can't ignore the feelings that I found in this whole damn thing that we got going. You hold the strings without me knowing. Why do I have to suffer through the thinking? Why do I have the feeling that we're sinking? I need to find a way. Find a way, find a way, find I've been feeling down. The cold nights just don't feel the same. Oh, like my life inside a car. Hit the button, drive real far. Put that record on me like. I'm dreaming of you. I dream of a new night. Fight in the dark till we see the sunlight. My love, it's you and I. Close, close, and could ride this fire. So reach for the stars, 'cause we're aiming high. You can't wait to see me now, 'cause lately you've been feeling down. You lay awake alone at night. Oh, like your life inside a car. Forget the world and drive real far. Put that record on again. Oh, my love, it's you and I. Close, close, and could ride this fire. So reach for the stars, 'cause we're aiming high. I'm dreaming of you. I dream of a new night. Fight in the dark till we see the sunlight. My love, it's you and I. Close, close, and could ride this fire. So reach for the stars, 'cause we're aiming high. I can't wait to leave this town. Can't wait to leave this town, 'cause lately I've been feeling down. I can't wait to leave this town, 'cause lately I've been feeling down.
And hello and welcome to the second week of the Counter-Strike Go Premier Division here at the Swiss Esports League by Brock. My name is Syntax, and as last week, again, I'm here with my wonderful co-caster. It's Kairos. How are you doing today?
I should probably unmute myself first.
Yeah,
Hello,
we want
everyone.
to hear you. Yeah, of course.
Yeah, here I am. Doing wonderful. Thank you very much. How was your day?
Pretty good, you know. I'm excited for the Easter weekend, though. A bit exhausted, but we're getting through it. Then we have a long weekend, which we can enjoy. But first, of course, we're going to have to get into some Counter-Strike action here for the second week. It's going to be Babos Gaming versus mYinsanity. And Babos Gaming, we saw before last week. And yeah, we saw them against Virtualitics going to a draw 1-1. So yeah, what do you have maybe after a week of digesting the first games? Any thoughts on the last matchup?
If I remember, well, Boy, I'm watching a lot of Counter-Strike.
It's a long
at the
time
moment.
ago, yeah.
And yes, it feels like an eternity. If I remember correctly, it was a 1-1 split, right? And it was somewhat close on the first map, not so much on the second one, I think.
Yeah,
Am I right?
I think you could say that. Yeah, the first
All right,
one,
okay.
first map we saw Inferno,
Yep.
which was rather close after a good start by Babos Gaming, but they were able to take the map. Then we went into Dust 2, which was as always a bit of a bit more chaos. But
Exactly.
Virtualitics, after the statement that Babos Gaming made that they are not really that well prepared on the map, actually that came true and they lost the second map. So a draw in the first week.
Yes. All right. Okay. Now, yes, indeed. Now I'm back again. Yes, I can remember it. Okay. Lovely.
Exactly.
Thank you for that.
No problem. Quick recap.
Yeah. So interesting to see today's matchup. Obviously, Babos Gaming returning to the stream. Hopefully, they'll have a good showing as well against mYinsanity. A team that I've grown very fond of over the last 2 years, I'd say.
mYinsanity
Mainly,
or Bubbles?
yes, mYinsanity. Well, I mean, I like guys from Babos Gaming as well,
Of
obviously.
course.
But mYinsanity has always struck me as a one of those teams that puts the grind in, and they have become better and better through these last couple of, well, about 2 years, I would say.
Mhm.
And they've made strides of progress, and that's lovely to see. And it's really, really cool to see kind of a team develop and grow, and now finally basically competing at the very top of the Swiss the CSC.
Yeah, so on mYinsanity, it's just going through the lineup real quick. It's Compe, Linux, Duri, Rulon, Shebi, and Prida, if I'm pronouncing all those correctly. And of course, on the side of Bobos, we saw them last week. It's Simu, Savs, The Breaker, No Rules, and Nits. So I mean, mYinsanity, a few names we have heard for a very long time in the Swiss scene, I believe. Even names like Compe, who's technically an import, but I think we can already say that I mean, can we call him Swiss? I think he's Swiss.
In the
After all
Counter-Strike
this time.
scene, for sure, yeah. I think
Absolutely.
he's been around in the Swiss scene for such a long time that he definitely earned that.
Yeah, I would think so as well. And
So he's a mate.
yeah, with a good track record as well. Cope,
Yeah.
of course, a great player. Players like Rulon, Shebi, Linux as well. Yeah, all names I'm looking forward to seeing today on the server. As we are still waiting for the draft to come in from the players. So sadly, I can not quite yet talk you through the maps we're gonna be seeing today. Of course, it's again gonna be a best of 2. So 2 maps, and hopefully we'll see very soon which 2 those are gonna be.
I wonder whether I'm not quite sure what maps we will see, but I do wonder whether mYinsanity is allowed to play Dust 2, and whether or not Babos Gaming is allowed to play in Mirage.
Okay.
I think I've seen very solid performances from them on those 2 maps, and I do believe they're somewhat their standard picks to go for.
Okay.
But then again, they have played each other on the maps before, so it's going to be interesting to see how the veto is going to go tonight. Really, really super excited for it.
Okay, so that's what we expect the teams to probably want to pick. Do you think they are, prepared enough to, I guess, to counterpick them, or to just ban these specific picks?
Yeah, that's what I wonder, really. I haven't seen them play all that much now since the beginning of the season. I have seen them play, but it's going to be interesting to see how deep their map pools are on both teams. So I kind of would hope to see some different maps, maybe an overpass thrown in there, or even a Vertigo finally would be very, very cool.
So I could actually, now the draft came in. I could actually tell you what it's gonna be. And Kairos, I just want to say that, yeah, it's gonna be Mirage and Dust 2. So MYI.
Bloody hell, someone knows this shit.
I mean, MYI with the Mirage pick, and Babos with Dust 2. So any thoughts on that?
MYI picked Mirage and Babos picked.
Oh yeah, actually, actually, it's
the other way around then.
It's the other way around, as you called it.
I did not expect that. Okay, that's actually quite interesting to me. Because I'm pretty sure Babos Gaming should be aware that mYinsanity is fairly solid on Dust 2, and vice versa, basically. So this is going to be very, very interesting. I wonder whether they actually prepared for tonight's matchup by studying their tendencies and what they like to do and how they basically structured their team around those maps, and whether or not we're going to see some slight tries of anti-stratting, which would be quite fancy actually.
We'll have to see. Yeah, we'll have to see. So the players are starting to get into the lobby. I think we're still waiting on one player to join, but after that we should be pretty set to go into those two maps. So guys, it's early in the season, of course. Do you have any prediction on the matchup?
Yeah, I'm gonna go very, very Swiss and say they will pick up one map each. So we'll see another 1-1.
Okay. So
I genuinely wonder though whether it is going to be their respective map picks or the other way around. So it should be good.
Yeah, well, I guess we'll have to see. It's definitely going to be interesting. I mean, from the performance that Babos had last week, I think, I mean, I haven't seen this particular mYinsanity roster, in a while. So I guess I'll have to see how they're doing at the moment. But I think Babos played really well, depending on the map, of course. Dust 2, so the second pick, which is pretty interesting because, as we told you last week, the statement from Babos was, guys, Dust 2, we're not prepared. It's not our map, and we don't feel confident on it. And now here in week 2, after losing on it last week, they are picking Dust 2 into mYinsanity. So, I mean, did they just practice it the whole week? I'm not quite sure, but it's just really interesting to me that they're going for the Dust 2 pick. I'm not quite sure how the bands look, but yeah.
This is one of so you don't know who banned what, right?
No, sadly, I wasn't told that. But my guess is that Inferno was definitely definitely gone by mYinsanity after they saw the performance from last week, maybe. But yeah, I think Babos probably was confident to go on to or hope probably to go into Inferno again because they did look so strong on it.
Yeah, I could very well see that as a possibility indeed.
All right, so guys, we see a lot of predictions from Higi. Of course, we want to see everyone else. We want to see in the chat, who are you rooting for? What do you think the scoreline is going to be on each of these maps? So we see some predictions for 2-0 for Babos. So not too much trust into mYinsanity from the chat so far. Maybe we'll hear some other voices. Have you seen mYinsanity in this constellation before?
I have. And to me, honestly, they didn't look too shabby. So I wouldn't really count them out just yet.
Who do you think, or I'm not quite sure of the roles in mYinsanity, but who do you think is going to be, kind of the man to look for, or maybe on each of these teams? Is there someone who maybe sticks out to you, or you want to see shine today?
On mYinsanity?
Yeah, maybe on both teams. If there's
on both
someone.
Teams. So, well, let's start with mYinsanity because I got their lineups right here. So to me, mYinsanity is an interesting one because it's quite difficult to actually kind of pick a player to watch out for. But I do tend to time and time again see kind of compare have very solid performances and very nicely positioned impact frags.
Yeah.
He's not necessarily a super aggressive player. He tends to sit back most of the time and kind of cover flanks. But he does it so incredibly well and so thoroughly that he has a very, very significant role, basically, to make sure the rest of the team kind of gets to do their jobs and work as a whole. Now, if we go over to Babos Gaming, I think, was it No Rules, right, who played with them?
Yep, absolutely.
So he was absolutely massive last week, if memory serves.
On the AWP,
So yeah, exactly. He had tremendous impact. He's super aggressive, super picky, and he doesn't fear to go for super flashy plays. And if it works out, it's absolutely marvelous. So certainly keep an eye on him.
Yeah, I think so as well. If you get an AWP into No Rules hands, if you're mYinsanity, you gotta look out. Last week, this guy had such a great performance, even with the rifles. But if he had the AWP in hand, it was just a done deal, and he was so confident on it. As you talked about, the impact was just tremendous on him, and we'll have to see if that reoccurs this week. And I would also agree on your call with Compe. Of course, he's kind of the one I'm most familiar with, competitive wise. But yeah, the experience on him and the things we know from him from past seasons and years. It's just really confident as well, and we'll have to see. But guys, the server is live, and I guess we'll waste not much more time as we head into the matchup for you. Finally, week 2, Babos Gaming versus mYinsanity. And as we see, Babos Gaming chose, of course, it was my mYi's pick, and they chose to go CT in the first half. What do you think about that?
Pretty standard, I'd say. After all, CT side slightly more advantageous on Mirage, for sure. But as we do see right now, Babos Gaming, they do have a pretty decent time here, moving on into the A bomb side. Only Compe left, last man standing, faced by 3 players. Does manage to pick up Simu there, carrying the bomb, so that will give him the chance to actually go for that 1v2. One player obviously planting it right now, so slight chance to find a 1v1. But sick pick there from No Rules. Just a slight pre-fire around the corner. Finds him and secures Babos Gaming the first round here.
Yeah, that was a really, really nice pick. First, it was a 2v1. Looked really good. Babos Gaming take away round number 1 and get themselves some SMGs and an AK. And actually, No Rules already going for the scout. So, seems to be... Yes, very confident, the man with the scope in hand. So we'll see what kind of damage he can do. And on the side of mYinsanity, Shobi with the scout rest on the Eagles. We'll see if mYinsanity can do any damage to the early economy of Babos Gaming here.
Quite interesting, and maybe worth to keep an eye out for as well is the fact that Shobi, he's obviously the AWP for mYinsanity, as probably most of you know. Compared to No Rules, I do believe Shobi is, I wouldn't say exactly the opposite, but very much on the other end of the spectrum when it comes to AWPing. So while I did say No Rules is a super flashy and aggressive player with the AWP and the scout as well, of course, Shobi is pretty much a very classical role player. by sitting back and holding angles and locking down whole parts of the map, basically round after round. But manages somehow to still make it incredibly difficult for enemy teams to somehow deal with him, even if you start to have a fairly decent idea of where he plays and how he plays it. So especially here on Mirage, if I'm not mistaken, he quite often on the T side later on will be covering mid while his team is setting up for executes and takes map control all over the place.
Yeah. So 3 AKs in hand for Babos Gaming. mYinsanity forced onto a safe buy with 2 flashes though, and still a deagle in the hands of Duty. As they are pretty split at the moment, playing pretty defensive right now so far. I think to see if they can get any picks. Timu is quite far up in apartments.
Yeah, not much to do here for mYinsanity. Of course, they're up against pretty solid buy here coming in from Babos Gaming. They did keep 2 Mac-10s around. I would assume at some point they will start to look for entries, run onto sites, gather information, maybe get a kill here or there. And mYinsanity, honestly, they good call there. They do go for the gamble stack. Unfortunately, hitting the wrong bomb site. So it'll be a pretty futile retake attempt coming in later on.
So Babos Gaming coming in with the smoke setup, very safe, and 4 players on mYinsanity still on B bomb side. Probably won't attempt much here. Duty will get a pick onto Savs though.
Yeah, that's exactly what I expected him to do, basically. Trying to bring that Mac-10 into action. Little pop flash. Spawn, unfortunately, put out by Duty. So, not much more is going to happen, apparently, in round number 3. mYinsanity, they don't really want to give the free money over to Babos Gaming, which is alright. It's a decent decision. A little bit of a skirmish going down here. But the only pick that Nervals will find will be with an AK, so not much harm done.
So for anyone new joining in on the top right, you can now see the maps. At the moment we are on Mirage, which is of course mYinsanity's pick. And for the second map we will head to Dust 2 for the pick of Babos Gaming. So here, 4th round coming in, mYinsanity with a fast play onto the B bomb side. The breaker already out the window, flashes in, will catch out Duty. And mYinsanity completely smoked off here from CT. Rulon will get a pick onto No Rules though, gets traded by Simu. And now we are in a 3v4 situation, but very low health on the breaker and Savs on Babos Gaming. So it's not too impossible, but I'm not sure how mYinsanity will approach this now.
I do expect if they had gotten a pick by now, they would have gone for it and tried it as it stands. So Babos Gaming, they do have way better positions. Bomb is taking away, so they do like to save their rifles, which is a decent enough decision.
Yeah. Ooh.
They even get quite a few exit frags.
I mean, that's very good. Nitz is the only one who survived from that. So, I mean, even if they lost a round, that's some very good picks. 3 picks in the end after the round. Just before the bomb exploded, I think.
Even if it's only for the kind of for the mentality and the mindset, that's always.
4-0 here for Babos Gaming, with a good start onto Mirage, which was actually mYinsanity's pick. So we'll see how this goes going further. 3 people approaching the mid area. Timu does lose some health on the trade as well. Does Rulon. He gets smoked off here on short. as they are going through mid. See if they actually commit here through the connector, and Linux and Compe will get 2 in subs, and Simo Breaker also gets Compe, and no rules, and it's so many frags falling off. It's a 2v3 situation now. Very low health on the Breaker though, and the bomb will go down. 1 man in mid, and Duty coming from the CT side. No rules already with the up in hand. Will be here in Palace if he can find anything. Duty tries to spot.
Duty trying to play around the last utility they have at their disposal. We'll be ready for the pick from mid. So,
no,
in the meantime,
no rules also false.
Yeah, Rulon did get a pick, so we do find ourselves in a 1v1, and it's absolutely doable. Duty takes the bomb, Breaker not going for it. And just in the nick of time, he turns away. Wouldn't really have mattered though. I don't think he had the time to stick the defuse after that.
Yeah, absolutely.
In return, Duty obviously saving the AWP. That's not too shabby, but super unfortunate really that round, how it played out. Initially, very nice hold from Linux close by stairs, almost sprays down a 3rd one.
Yep.
And, well, basically within a couple of seconds, really, Babos Gaming somehow managed to turn that round completely on its head.
Still full rifles and an op on both of the teams. Babos Gaming are in the works of getting themselves a huge lead here in the first half of the game on the T side. This round playing a bit calmer.
Well, I wonder how long it will take for mYinsanity really to feel the pressure of going for information plays, of trying to push extremities, or even play for a solid mid control. At some point, no rules actually stays around too long for Duty to get a tag in with that AWP. Cheeky little angle, obviously. Unfortunately, cannot connect on the second shot, and now he's going to be pushed. Or not. I guess just pressuring the B-bomb site might be just as good. And in the meantime, obviously, they have taken mid control. Or mostly.
Actually, the rotation coming out from Linux. So, A side a bit vulnerable now. I think Linux decided to go back. Probably thought they were going back, but I think mYinsanity is still not quite sure what Babos Gaming is planning. I'm not quite sure if Babos knows it, because they have 30 seconds left on the clock, so they have to decide soon. Souths will get a pick on the B bomb side, which can be very crucial right now in this moment. Rulon gets one onto Souths, gets another one onto Breaker. Can he get more? Gets 3, the bomb down onto No Rules. Shebi gets Simu, will get traded though, as he got Linux, and now, yeah, the commitment from Babos Gaming was completely shut down by Rulon, holding the B bomb site on his shoulders, and mYinsanity get themselves a first round in the game.
Yeah, very nicely played by Rulon, obviously. Somehow staying alive for what felt like an eternity. After Babos Gaming, felt like they had really a hard time deciding where they wanted to end up on that last round. Cheeky little peek. Will pay with his life for that. Linux now needs to pick up the slack. Good initial frags. Will be pushed through the smoke. I do believe he spotted him. Compa there with the support from top of ticket box. And Shubi slightly discouraged. Only drops an M in chat. I do wonder, he probably didn't buy head armor, did he? Because Rulon and Linux both are rocking the Kevlar only at the moment, which is obviously
it seems like
dangerous.
Definitely so, after the, or into the buy of Babos Gaming. But 2v4 situation, Linux on 11 HP. It's trying to predict, both kind of stuck in the mid area. And yeah, they got pretty much everything covered onto the A bomb site. And Rulon, only man on B, but they will both be picked up by Duty and Compe. And second round into the safe buy though. So I mean, I think everyone was hoping mYinsanity would get that one. But yeah, the 2-5 now. Babos Gaming still with a pretty good lead. And on rifles again, Simu with the SMG in hand. We'll see if he can do any damage with that here in round number 8.
Yeah, as cool the Mac-10 is against fully bought opponents, it is somewhat tricky to make it work. Quick entry onto the A-bomb site. Nice usage of utility. Well-placed smokes, Molotov to bench. Very standard, but very efficient after all. Nids with it. Perfect flank through lower. Pretty much secures the round with that kill.
Beautiful, yeah.
And should be in a very tricky position. Does hit Nids and indeed will pick him off. So quite unlikely that he will lose his AWP at this point. Which he'll be, and should be, very happy about.
Absolutely. Very well played after plant with the flanks on both sides. Maybe we'll probably get to keep his op. We would hope so. Yeah, but that's a very good execute onto the A-bomb site. No rules, just sprinted on there. And they got the bomb down very quickly. And yeah, Babos Gaming on the pick of mYinsanity on the T side are doing a lot of work right now. And mYinsanity not quite yet finding a foot in the game.
Yeah, mYinsanity, time and time again, I feel like they do struggle starting to adjust for their opponents. I do believe I've seen it for on Mirage, where they kind of try to play very standard early on in the rounds. And if their opponents, they attack them with enough aggression, more often than not, I feel like they lose, or they start regularly losing bomb sites. So not being able to hold. Albeit they do have very solid retakes most of the time, but so far Babos Gaming really never let them come back into the round after getting a bomb down. So very nicely done by them.
Yeah, I really want to see mYinsanity as we are going into a pause. I really want to see them pressuring the economy of Babos Gaming here in those last rounds of the first half. If they kind of get into a phase where they have to force Babos Gaming into these buys or into these saves, I just want to see them get some consecutive rounds. You know, they got 1 and 2, one into a safe buy, but so far, even those 2 rounds are don't say too much, I would say.
No, not necessarily. Also, if you have a quick look at the scoreboard, fragging wise, they're not actually lagging behind too hard here, mYinsanity. So they do get quite decent damage in, but Babos Gaming just way too efficient really in closing out those rounds. And mYinsanity, more often than not, just one step behind. So once again, good aggression early on. Almost takes down the AWP on the beach bomb side. Rulon being getting a first free frag, but spots 3-player looking his way shortly after. Lanex now once again. He needs to fall back into connector. Almost dies, incredibly lucky. Finds
he was flashed. I mean,
right
he didn't see anything.
No, he had no chance of spotting him. Will be traded later on by South. And in a 1v3, obviously, South would have to go completely mental. Almost spots Duty. Well done by checking away. Let's him alive for now, but bomb obviously firmly in the grasp of the CT, so it should be third round coming through for mYinsanity in compare. Once again closing it out in the end. And Babos Gaming should be good for one more buy. Never mind. It is going to be Deagle only.
Yeah, Nids and no rules as well were kind of low money, so going for the rather early save here. And
cool to see really that they apparently very much want to have their sets of utility for their execute, which obviously have worked perfectly fine. So
absolutely,
no, I'm not going to fault them for that. But still, they are a team that likes to play somewhat fast. And I'm pretty sure they could have made it work. Shubi risks a little peek into underground. His teammate on Rulon dies though top mid. Now he's going to be wide in the open, uncovered. And Breaker obviously flies around and dishes out a sick one-tap.
Sals gets another one.
Well, and this is completely falling apart for mYinsanity. And I am lost for words. I cannot understand how mYinsanity is able to throw away rounds like that.
And Linux gets the frag onto Breaker, and that's the AWP down. They have one rifle still in the hands of Noah Rules versus the AK and the M4. Simu gets another pick. Linux now, last chance against 2 players here. Still a rifle on No Rules, but 11 HP. Taps the bomb. Linux gets the headshot onto No Rules. Simu now knows he's not on the bomb, but will get a good pick. Didn't have to go for the head. But what a round by Babos Gaming. The shots were crucial. The deeks were clean. And I mean, I'm just happy to see that. Beautifully done.
Yeah, Linux trying his hardest to go for the hero play and trying to recover that round. Instant pause being called by mYinsanity. Not really a surprise at all, because after all, this is not a round you should ever give up just like that. And obviously, Shubi, solid decision to go for a peek into underpass. You could very well catch him out, but his teammate in top of middle has absolutely no business peeking from behind those boxes, giving up that entry frag. And by basically doing so and going down, killing his teammate in Shubi as well. So that's super disappointing, really.
Yeah, absolutely agree. Yeah, I mean, mYinsanity had them in a good spot. You know, they were on a safe buy. That was the round. You know, to maybe, just to maybe flip over the half and get some consecutive rounds themselves. This was the moment. Now we're already in round number 11. The first half slowly but surely going to an end, and mYinsanity might have just lost their chance at closing the distance.
I would have even gone one step further. I would have said this last round was their way back into the map.
Yeah.
3-7. Sure, it's not all lost yet, but on the CT side of Mirage, struggling against Ecos, throwing away basically 3 rounds like that, you're not really setting yourself up for success.
Chevy just completely body blocked the smoke for window as he jumped out of it. Did take 1 HP. And Nitz gets a pick onto an aggressive Rulon in Palace here. So Rulon getting punished for the aggression early in the round, as 2 of the players are in apartment. Babos Gaming pretty split. Still looking for picks, and at the moment Duty is the only player on the B bomb site, so very vulnerable there, but it seems like Babos Gaming is retreating at the moment.
Comfort just about player on ramp, and Babos Gaming really showing us how you should approach anti-ecos in the most efficient way. They basically held all over the map for peaks and pushes early on for about a minute before now finally deciding to hit that A-bomb site. Sure, they didn't really go for too much information, and Linux dishes out a lot of damage here onto the Palace player as well after getting the first kill, even finding a second one. And Shubi with the drop into Sandwich, good for 1 as well. Now Duty though needs to pick up the slack. Somehow make it work in a 1v2. And it's very low, and actually the Stockport player in South gets a tag as well. So 19 HP now, bomb not being planted. 6 seconds, he will have the time to plant it. But 1 bullet either way will finish this round.
This is so doable for Duty right here. Oh, beautiful stuff. Needs only 1 shot, and yeah, I mean, the smoke kind of ruined the round for them right now. They weren't paying attention on the placement. Duty got got a clean shot on the first one. South was 19 HP, so very little chance for him. And Duty even leaves the round with an AWP in hand. Yeah, which is beautiful for them to get that round. 4-7, only a 3-round difference as we're heading towards the end of the first half. And mYinsanity could potentially, yeah, get some rounds back in the first half, and at the end it could look really equal.
Yeah, this definitely was a bit of redemption here for mYinsanity, winning back to eco. Babos Gaming now very low on utility, so it's going to be interesting to see how they are going to approach a round like this, where they might not have everything they wish for. Obviously, still AK is all across the board. South gets another frag for free. Linux, bit of a ballsy move going up the ladder so late. And Duty still only rocking a shotgun. So mYinsanity is still under a lot of pressure actually to make it work in this round, especially now being a man down. Their defense is spread very thin indeed. Breaker. Good spray there. On to, who was that? Was that Conte on A side? I do believe so.
Yep.
Yeah, he did move on the pass. Rulon swings out wide, finds him. He needs to be ready for the window boost, but cannot turn around in time. And Babos Gaming with a marvelous bit of map control here.
The bomb now slowly moving towards the B bomb side, and Duty, only player at the moment there to defend Simu, also slowing onto the side. Well, South is playing a distraction here, gets one, cannot get Shubi as he will pick him up, but Duty with the shotgun in hand is ready, gets one onto Nitz, but the bomb does make it onto the site. Simu trying to find in Shubi, coming from the back, will get one. The bomb does go down, and Simu now on 50 HP, last one alive. Duty and Shubi both so very low, but Shubi gets the right timing, and mYinsanity wins a 5th round, which was, I mean, this is huge. This is huge for them.
What a monster performance by Shubi just now. Not only does he take care of the lurk coming out Palace, which, in all fairness, almost made it certain that Babos Gaming would pick up the time, but he was so quick to be over at the B bomb side, support Duty with a shotgun, trying his hardest to survive behind that car position. Instantly going for the planter, which I'd love to see. Okay, Rulon, unfortunately, missed a Molotov. Gets timed as well. Finally, his nade actually finds its mark. But yeah, Shubi last round, absolutely hats off to this guy. Even the last frag, so solid. That's a tricky little one-way. Rulon ready for it, though.
And yeah, mYinsanity not buying the B aggression, not over-rotating. The bomb is there though now in the hands of No Rules. And retreating once again, 2 players alive versus 5. This seems like a done deal, and mYinsanity in the first half could actually still tie it up. Ooh, Nitz, Mr. Shot will. I know, right? That's what I thought. Yeah, this one hits though. A little bit of redemption there. But still only 1 pick. With 2 Deagles in hand, we'll see if they can do any more damage. I'm really uncertain if they have a chance to win this round. But maybe getting some guns away. Hopefully not Duty's gun. Hopefully they will get a rifle. But
not entirely sure what I do think about Rulon's move here, moving into CT.
Yeah.
Holding fast on the A bomb side, obviously. Shouldn't really be too much of an issue. Yeah, no Rules should have that AWP in hand, so a faint attempt of a hunt here going down might actually be able to pick him off. Well, at least they found him.
And now they're going on the hunt. He's stuck between everyone.
Gets lag fighting. 180 spin around, kills him, and I'm pretty sure that was after time.
Oh, I actually didn't pay attention yet, but definitely possible. And Duty still on the shoddy. and rifles again in the hands, mostly of Babos Gaming. Shabby gets an early pick onto Simo in mid. Cannot land the second shot though. That's a good aggression into the mid area. The breaker, pretty aggressive here. Will he move through the smoke though? As Nitz still lurking. In Palace, the breaker moves through. Gets one pick. Will get the second one as well. Really good flash coming into the connector. Salves gets a pick onto Rulon. And mYinsanity gets picked off one by one. Compe and Duty still alive, but split up on the map entirely. Compe. Ooh, they're not paying attention. Gets one pick. Onto Nitz. 2 players on the B bomb side. The bomb. Not yet going down. But the molly should give Compe enough time. No rules enough time to get the bomb down. We'll see if mYinsanity can actually tie up this first half.
Probably not. Duty actually shot his shotgun, so they know they are in CT, and this is absolutely undoable for Compe. As much I love to see a sick 1v2 replay. All right.
Yeah, but the bomb plant, the plant is just too good, I think. Souths will move on. Yeah, that's it. Nice try by Compe. And,
well played. mYinsanity once again, unfortunately losing that first kill in middle on Linux. He went for a nice little push into mid actually through their smoke. And Babos Gaming though, up close and personal already, did find him, and the attempt of a trade really made mYinsanity's defense kind of fall apart a bit. As we go into what is indeed the last round of the first half. 8-6, Babos secured the win of the first half by reaching those 8.
And they're pretty confident, just putting Duty alone on the B bomb side. They're stacking mid and A pretty hard at the moment. And I think Babos Gaming don't have that information yet. Shabby will move over though, as they're guessing right now what the plan of Babos Gaming is. The bomb seems like it's moving back into T spawn, as maybe Babos Gaming themselves are not quite sure yet what the plan is.
Yeah, a decent amount of times Babos Gaming actually favored the A bomb side to the B bomb side, even going full on executes as well as splits through middle and connector. Looking though as if they wanted to change it up this time around. Did you see window smoke? And it is indeed going to be a B split this time around. Linux for a couple of tap shots onto short, even attacks one player. Rulon ready with the AWP, nice shot. And Shubi, prime position, shoots quite early, but still good for 2. Nitz right below him, finds him as well. That's a 3k. And Linus coming in with the last kill, mYinsanity. They are making it close still.
Shubi with a wonderful positioning there. And I just want to quote you, Kairos, from last week. And the quote was, "Check your angles, boys." So maybe same thing here. Chevy finds 3 just by being in the right place at the right time. And yeah, first half going in favor of the Babos Gaming side.
Yeah, I was actually worried a little bit when he started to shoot so early on. Yeah. After all, he wasn't really checked and could have easily let the second one move past him as well. But hey, you can't really fault him. After all, he made it work, locked down that B-bomb side, secured them his 7th round. And mYinsanity therefore still looking pretty decent here on Mirage.
Yeah, I would say so as well. I mean, start a bit rusty. Needed to warm up in those first rounds, but after that, definitely not too shabby. And yeah, we'll see. Of course, it is mYinsanity's pick, so we'll see if they get some rounds back. We'll see what they prepared going into the attacker side, into the T side, and looking forward to see what the plan is and to see what they got in if they got any aces in their pockets. And Babos Gaming definitely looking to keep the lead they're onto right now.
Yeah, for sure.
By the way, I think the scoreboard is bugged again, thanks to GoTV. But I think we should be seeing the action after a round is done. I have to excuse everyone. But
Well,
you can look at the stats now.
It's such a young game, CSGO. You can't really expect them to have
I know,
every
right?
detail figured out just yet. I mean, it's only 20 years.
I mean, yeah. It's a small gaming studio, you know.
Yes. Anyway, we'll try to cause what we can. mYinsanity, they have made their way onto the A bomb site. Bomb about to be planted, and flash into CT allows them to peek it. Most likely not really spotting anyone just yet. Nits has been hiding in CT spawn, swings out wide, finds Rulon later on, but Breaker and Nits now in a 2v4, pretty much undoable. Apparently still trying to go for it, attacking that bomb. Making mYinsanity run for a short while, but they will finish it off quite handily. And just like that, we are indeed equalized once more.
Yep.
Actually, no, not once more.
I mean, yeah, for the first time,
right?
For the first time,
It's
yeah.
the first time, indeed, that mYinsanity actually caught up to Babos Gaming now.
So they are definitely warming up more and more as the game progresses. And if that's your plan, you of course want as many rounds as possible. 8-8 at the moment, and this second half after a pretty one-sided start is looking very, very spicy, ladies and gentlemen. I want to see the chat. Yeah, tell me, who are you rooting for? What are your predictions for this second half? As Simo with a pretty aggressive position here in apartments. Will not get any damage down.
First one of 3 nades. One Babos Gaming. Thrown to delay that B push. A bit of information, Simo. Just trying to play around his angles. Nits will be the first one to actually find a duel and makes it work once again with that deagle. Tanks quite a lot of damage, but stays alive, and that's the most important part. No rules. Sick headshot onto Linux. Sit down, son.
Wow.
You have no business moving into my site.
Beautiful shot by No Rules. Chevy with the scout in hand. We'll see what he can do to move on to the side. Compe flashes over for him.
Going to be so incredibly dangerous. mYinsanity, they have been on the move towards the A execute, but in the meantime, all of Babos Gaming basically are sitting right around them. Nice double kill from below balcony, and Breaker finishes it off onto Dinu with yet another 1D. How in the world is Babos Gaming time and time again making it work with these deeks? mYinsanity, they had backup on the way.
Yeah.
Just a little bit too soon, they move out into the angles of Babos Gaming. No utility thrown just yet, and just like that, the round is lost.
Babos Gaming now with a fast push far into the apartments and mid. As Rulon actually already very far pushed up, but he's all alone, no help from his teammates to be seen, and he just gets put down to 7 HP without anything in return. Onto mYinsanity, so not the best start for Babos Gaming into this round 18 here on the first map.
He did get a little tidbit of information, the fact that 2 players are holding the B bomb site at that very moment, but then again, you could have guessed that for free, really. Not much gained. As the terrorists are trying to pick up anyone really regress into middle, but they do not count on Timu's push through on the path. To one angle, they leave wide open. And indeed, he makes them pay for it. No rules now. It's a scout shot there onto Duty.
I mean, No Rules with the scope in hand is just insane. The damage he puts out will get put down pretty far though. Simu gets the pick onto Linux, and now Linux in under is the last man alive with a dig in hand versus 5 still alive. Gets one onto Simo, and Nits will shut his plan right down and Babos Gaming get themselves into a 2-round lead again with 10-8 versus mYinsanity here.
Most likely to be in 11-8 fairly soon.
Yeah.
After mYinsanity still on an eco. And this time they need to go for the full eco. Well, never mind. They have 2 flashes and 1 P-tooth. And a B-rush in mind, apparently. 3 players ready on the B-bomb side. 1 already pushed through on the pass. South will pop up behind them in a matter of seconds.
Ooh.
Not to run, it actually flips up. A frag. Oh my god.
mYinsanity
coming in.
So hesitant. They will get Kobe down. Breaker gets one to Chevy. Runan will trade him though. But after a confident start, yeah, the Nate just shot them down completely, and just very hesitant in the apartments as they saw. Was it Souths pushing up from behind?
Yeah, South pushed on the pass now, and Linux finally picked up his MP9. I don't think they've actually found it before. Now, the one silver lining that there is for mYinsanity is the fact that they still have a little bit of time to play with, so they fall back and decide to stick around, hope for a bit of a aggressive push from the CTs, maybe collide some manpower, finding a 2v2, but as time starts to be an issue, they are forced to start moving. No rules. Trying to cover short and mid. Sees the Molotov go through and actually spots them in connector. Rulon is allowed to get actually a fairly decent duel from down low. Nits with the trades ready on the A-bomb side. Skills Babos Gaming indeed an 11th round.
Still a lot of damage done onto the Babos Gaming side though.
Not too shabby. Could have been a lot worse.
Yeah, absolutely. Could have been. So 3-round lead onto Babos Gaming right now. Coming into this 20th round in the first map. Full rifles on mYinsanity and an op on no rules, which is always dangerous. Compe already takes down no rules, but Souths with a great flash takes down 2 on ramp. Compe with the second frag of the round. Simu.
Not ready for Simu.
Simu will get 1. Nobody else showing at the moment, but Apartments is pushing up. Shobi. He has the information. Molly goes down. We'll delay him a little bit. Nits will get traded by Shobi in Apartments, and now it's a 2v1. Shobi, last man alive with the bomb still on him in Apartments. 1 minute left, so plenty of time to play out this round. South and Simu are both hit, but so is Shobi. It's not looking too good, but if he plays this well, he does have the time.
Interestingly enough, the CTs, they do not elect to team up and play the 2v1, but rather start covering both bomb sides right now. Shobi walks into the angle of South. That's a very nice off angle that he's holding there. mYinsanity once again not really lucky.
Yeah, I mean, Babos Gaming, 12 rounds now, threatening to end the game as fast as they can, because they are again against the save buy from mYinsanity. A fast mid push, it seems like, from MY. No rule through the smoke, gets 1. Does not connect onto the second, but that's a great pick to start off the round. mYinsanity trying their best, or trying to get the best with that safe buy on them, but the bomb will drop. Nits gets 1 onto these Souths. Rulo and Shobi all get gunned down, but Compe, the reliable force on mYinsanity, will take down 2, but he is against 2 rifles and an op. Kairos, I don't want to be pessimistic, but not a lot of hope here on Compe.
Yeah, it's going to be a tricky one. He would have to go for the ace in the end, and most likely he won't be ready for the flank through ramp. Good move into jungle though, that denies them a lot of information. But Breaker obviously covering the route, or the shortest route towards B. And with 50 seconds still to go, Compe might actually start to look for an alleyway. Simu pops up behind him eventually though. It's very annoying really in the situation that Compe was in. When you are in a very high pressure situation anyway.
Mm.
And you need to perform, and the CTs that basically just don't really give you any chance whatsoever by just holding their angles and sitting back, relaxing. Basically, they take out all of your momentum, really. Sure, he did get 2k early on with his deke.
Yeah. Compe gets chunked out really hard by the nade and some bullets as well as Babos Gaming approach a first 14th round win, but mYinsanity again, another chance on their rifles and the AWP. So this could be the moment to turn the game, but they have to do it now with the AWP on Shibi. He has done some work on it before in the first map. mYinsanity here. Pretty split up, still deciding, or yeah, putting up some pressure.
Not a big surprise. Shibi just holding top of middle with his AWP for a bigger part of the round. And obviously Babos Gaming is very aware of that, so they're not going to challenge him unnecessarily. If we do see aggression on their CT side, it most likely will be through either the apartments, team flash into a ramp as we've seen before. Worked out brilliantly, by the way. But back into the action, mYinsanity finally move on towards A. Already being flanked on basically every angle. One player coming in through ramp,
no rules,
and no rules. Just having a happy life as a very solid AWP here on Mirage, shutting them right down, basically without much help.
Yeah, I mean, if he's one thing, he's a very, very solid AWPer. What he's shown us last week and just continuing to do so here in week number 2 is incredible. Babos Gaming, 14 rounds in the books for them. Only 2 more between them and map number 1. And mYinsanity have to wake up now. They are still on rifles, but the money is low. And if they lose that one, this game could, or might as well just be over already. But we'll have to see what's going on here. Fast push onto the B side from short. The breaker can only get 1, but Compe will trade him.
A very important trade there coming through. Compe, Duty instantly turns around, covers the flank, finds a pick onto south in connector. And no rules once again being gifted a free frag in kitchen. Still shouldn't really be much of a game changer here. mYinsanity, bomb site's still very secure, nits coming in short, super late, not really able to have much of an impact in a useful amount of time, so Babos Gaming most likely trying to pick up an exit frag here or there. Duty should never ever go back out into middle right now. Decides to prove me wrong and finding the frag onto nits, so okay, never mind.
The important thing here is no rules. Still has the AWP in his hand. Will he get to keep it though?
Oh, just spotted.
And he will, and that's I mean, yeah, they do have a lot of money still, and the AWP in no rules hands has proven a vital part of Babos Gaming, of Babos Gaming's roster here. So mYinsanity will stay alive in the round that yeah, that counted the most, you could say, and we'll get another chance here on the AKs.
mYinsanity taking the control. Now we see Babos Gaming basically playing 2 up on short. South and breaker covering decent chunk of map. But Rudolph very sneakily made his way all the way into kitchen. Linux finding a frag on A ramp as well. That was a predictable reaction from the CTs to losing that player early on. South now finds 2. Almost way back into the rounds. No rules, still not being bested by Linux.
And now a 2v1 situation, no rules, barely any health, half health left on him. We'll see what he decides to do. He will approach the B-bomb site.
I'd be super surprised if mYinsanity ever give him a chance to actually bring it back.
Yeah.
No need really to peek until he starts attacking bomb. He does. Duty
Yeah.
moves in, spots the barrel of his
What
decently long tool.
was it worth? Not quite sure. The op is now in the hands of Shibi. The money. Well, the
Honestly,
money wouldn't have been good anyways on Babos Gaming.
exactly, and
So yeah.
therefore I even liked the fact that he went for it, because
True.
mYinsanity, they
True.
haven't been completely consistent with these situations. So there was a chance indeed, and Babos Gaming forcing behind that one AWP wouldn't have been a good idea anyway, so
True.
it was a safe round either way.
Yeah. South gets chunked out in the duel with Shibi, so does he. And 3 men of mYinsanity.
Should be about to get them some action. Top of middle with his shot, unfortunately. I like Babos Gaming approach to these rounds. They don't really just sit back and wait for free frags, but rather they are pretty active. They look for engagements. They look to catch them off guard. And with 45 seconds on the clock now, mYinsanity starts to make a move.
Yeah, 2 players.
By Linux.
Yeah, 2 players coming out of under here, as the rest of the group will join them on side. Linux gets a good frag onto Souths.
Still one player to find on stairs.
Yeah.
It's not gonna have too much impact. Not really finding anything, and mYinsanity can quite comfortably put down the bomb, play after plant positions, and get a little boost actually.
That's really cheeky.
Almost spotted that one player, didn't he?
Emo and Narul still not backing off. See what they have in mind. But mYinsanity so far looking good for staying alive in the game here. Players. Oh, okay. Rulon actually gets a pick on Simu. And yeah, no rules in the end. Will get dropped as well. And that's an 11th round. And mYinsanity looking, looking kind of alive again. And Babos Gaming was, I think they were pretty confident with the start into the second half. But right now, pretty much a deja vu from the first half, as mYinsanity lost some rounds, but now seems like getting back into the game. And now,
would you look at that? Should be actually making his way over to the bomb side, looking for an entry.
And fake smokes coming out. Actually, players are getting mid control right now. Rotations coming out fast. Only one player very deep in kitchen to protect the B bomb site, and the bomb is heading there right now. I think Simu got a clue of it, and the rest of the players are rotating as well. We'll see if they can catch them off. Duty gets one onto Souths. Rulon catches Simu. Breaker gets one back, and now should be here to defend all the rotations coming in. Bomb will have enough time to be put down. And now it's all in the hands of Nitz and no rules. Nitz is very, very far away from the bomb site. Yeah, would be surprised if they try anything here. And mYinsanity looking to get a 12th round and closing the gap further and further here in the first map.
Indeed, finding a little bit of life late into our first map here, which is good to see. And obviously they can be quite relaxed. They know no rules on an AWP, and retaking 2v3, it's going to be difficult either way, especially with one player on the AWP. So very solid round, 12-14, and he closing the gap to 2. And Babos Gaming once again in a bit of a tricky situation. They saved 2 rifles. The rest of the players, though, not really all that much to work with, and smartly enough, they will call a pause, most likely to discuss exactly that issue. After all, should they force, which they could drop 2 rifles. One player could go for a low buy, but they would be significantly lacking on utility. which might pose a problem. And then again, if they don't pick up this round, they will be on an eco again, which would mYinsanity the opportunity to close the gap completely and move up to 40 themselves. So, difficult situation. Either way, it will be indeed just a Deagle being bought. And the hopes and dreams of 2 rifles winning the map somehow, or the round.
Yeah, very tricky. I like that they're taking their time to actually discuss how they want to approach this. But yeah, mYinsanity definitely on the upper hand. Not so on the scoreline, but at the moment in the game on the T side, I think their T side has I think it seems a bit more confident than what they showed us on the T side, on the CT side. Maybe they're a bit warmer now, but so far, mYinsanity looking quite good. And now a fast play coming onto the B-bomb side actually, and only one player there to defend it early. No rules is moving, but it's smoked off instantly. Souths and Nits will get taken down, as well as Simu Breaker will get a trade off. But yeah, I mean, very good execute by mYinsanity. Get a free bomb site, bomb gets planted, and that's a done deal for Babos Gaming. But no rules. He always manages to find one.
Yeah, Linux actually spotted him on the A side. The second time he repeated, it wasn't actually for the player close, but it was rather for no rules on the A bomb side. Pretty ambitious to go for that duel, but then again, hey, if you feel it, you feel it, right?
Maybe another one. I will not spot him. And mYinsanity are on 12 or 13 to 14 now. Babos Gaming will get to keep their AK and the AWP, which is probably the best they could have gotten out of that situation.
What?
But, hello?
Mouse wheel jump? Question mark?
The bullets were just...
Oh no.
The bullets just went everywhere, but not on the player. Well, unfortunate. So still a full rifle buy with an AWP on both teams. So it's not over. mYinsanity doesn't have an easy equalization of the match here. No rules. He wins those battles, you know. Shebi has proven some good skills on the AWP. So has no rules, and he will...
Oh, break a prime position boost on top of box. Easy frag onto Roll-On. And with already 2 players lost, mYinsanity are looking a bit lost here in round number 28.
Yeah. A long game. And mYinsanity is very split up at the moment on the map, as the picks were pretty important by Babos Gaming. Still have the full setup. Lennox will move onto the site, gets a good pick onto Souths, and does not give up any HP for the trade. Well, he can call it a trade if he didn't lose any HP, but anyway.
Comp is sitting in the ladder room right now, so it would be up to him to try and make a move here. Try to equalize the manpower. Or at least sell a fake. That works as well. Puts down a con smoke. But without any more action coming through. Oh no.
Not again. Not again. It's in the same position. Gets 2. Oh, Duty and Linux both. And that's the second time he gets a double kill from that spot, the breaker.
Yeah.
Oh, Nits.
I don't know. I would have loved to see Compe be more proactive there.
Yeah.
He obviously has a prime position to go for a play, to make a move, to kind of put some pressure onto Babos Gaming. But throwing down that smoke on top con just isn't going to make it. Especially not without committing somewhere. This is never ever going to work as a fake, and obviously just sitting back, letting your teammates basically willy-nilly walk out onto the A-bomb side. It's just hoping for a miracle at that point, really.
And now 15 rounds, Babos Gaming with the possibility to close out Mirage Roll-On with a good start though for them. Gets a pick onto Souths. Does he have the information? No, we'll get picked off by no rules also.
Dude, he just fucking slides into that peak. It's insane.
Oh, no rules. I mean, I didn't... he wasn't too familiar before, but I'm starting to become a big fan, you know.
Yeah, 4 versus 4. mYinsanity still in the game. Obviously fighting against map point. As they will try their luck once again on the A bomb site. Instant rotations obviously being called for Babos Gaming. All the CTs are starting to move over. mYinsanity, at least they do take their time. Secure the bomb site. Oh my goodness! Simu. This is going to sting. Compet with the cleanest of shots onto short.
Alright.
Kills them the bomb plant and 3v4 retake now. Babos Gaming, they move onto the bomb site. And they should know there's one more Tetris. After all, the player could really move into the corner fast enough. Linux now last man standing up against 2. Bomb is planted for him, but Nitz has followed his shoulder. He needs to spring out. He will lose the fight, and that is going to be indeed the first map won by Babos Gaming.
Beautiful retake in the end. Babos Gaming, after looking a bit shaky after mYinsanity got into the game, got so many rounds back, even equalized the game after half time. But in the end, Babos Gaming had the willpower to pull through, and they will win map number 1 on Mirage before we're gonna head on to Dust 2 for Babos Gaming's pick, which we discussed before was very surprising. Do you think Babos Gaming can do some damage on Dust 2 after what we saw last week?
Honestly, I do believe so, yes. I don't think, even though they said they weren't fully prepared, if they're ready to actually pick it into mYinsanity of all teams right now, I'm quite certain they have worked on it. And I do actually put them... I do believe they are capable enough to bring the fight to mYinsanity. So it is going to be an upward struggle. And historically, mYinsanity, unfortunately, they have been known to struggle after losing the map in BO2, BO3 situations. So it is going to be a test of willpower and composure, certainly for the mYinsanity side at this point.
All right, we'll have to see. We're going to head into a very short break to set up the next match. Give the players a moment. And after that, we'll be back with Dust 2. Babos Gaming looking to get the 2-0 for today. mYinsanity looking to equalize the series after the second map. We'll catch you in a few minutes. Go nowhere. We'll be right back with map number 2.
Feels so bittersweet, knowing I can leave. You taste like candy, eat you on a Sunday. I can feel the beat of my heart increase. 'Cause you taste like candy. Tasty.
You don't know what goes on behind these eyes. You don't know the loneliness hidden inside. You don't know I wanna eat you up alive. Come and get to know me, my type of wild. I'm the kind that spins you and hangs you dry. Well, I'm already on to another side. If you gave me your whole life, I would still have room for more, cause I've got that appetite. Baby, I never feel whole, though you might get me through the night, but it will never be enough. It will never be enough. Cause I'm a black girl for your love. Cause I'm a black girl for your love. Cause it's true, na na na, everything they say about me, I'll suck you, na na na, to my center of gravity. Cause it's true, na na na, everything they say about me, I'll love you like a supernova, burned into you like a shooting star. Always craving for you to come to me, though this way of life, no, it ain't healthy, but ain't no other way, it's just what I need. I want all your soul, I want your body. I'm the type that licks her play clean. Don't wanna let out, one of you can eat. If you gave me your whole life, I would still have room for more, cause I've got that appetite. Baby, I never feel whole, you might get me through the night, but it will never be enough. It will never be enough. Cause I'm a black girl for your love. Cause it's true, na na na, everything they say about me, I'll love you like a supernova, burn into you like a shooting star. If you give me your whole life, I would still have room for more, cause I've got that appetite. Baby, I never feel whole, you might get me through the night, but it will never be enough. It will never be enough. Cause I'm a black girl for your love.
Oh no, that is what they all say when they see me pouring some wine. Oh, think it's empty again. Better fill it up before I go. Cause I'm loving it, feeling it, touch me and being it, see what I see in it. I'm typical, messing around with it, mix it up, go with it, fuck with it, flow with it, let it all go. Oh Lord, think you know what I'm like, but you don't fall, you lose control. Bittersweet melody when I dance on your fly. Cause I know what you don't, it is me you adore. How does it feel to breathe when you're dead? They never seen you out of your bed. Cut to the bone, it's broken up. How sad. Oh boy, got so hot I forgot what I should have thought of before. Sure ain't easy for you to let go of the rules, cause that's so much fun. Are you loving the feeling it? Touch me, are you in it? Don't see what you're seeing, but typical. Messing around with it, mix it up, go with it, fuck with it, flow with it, please let it go. Oh no, think I did it again. I said
All right, and hello and welcome back. After the first map that Babos Gaming took for themselves, we're gonna head onto DOS 2 for the second and final map of the day. Of course, my name is still Syntax here with Kairos. Kairos, any thoughts on that first map after we had a short break? think you might be muted still. You have such a beautiful voice. Let the world hear it. There we go.
Yeah. Sorry. Sorry.
No problem at all.
Right. Yeah. Indeed. A couple of thoughts I do have. I'm still time and time again super impressed with Babos Gaming performance in the server. So they have really played fantastic Counter-Strike over the last couple of weeks, and once again they bring it home in on Mirage against mYinsanity. A mYinsanity that is kind of swapping in between solid, very exciting, and shockingly mediocre. Which is honestly, as a spectator, and I'm pretty sure a lot of our viewers feel the same way, just not quite as fulfilling as you want it to be, because they do show little glimmer of hope here and there, of really solid performances, being able to kind of push their opponents to the limit. And then they start to crumble, throwaway rounds, and not being able to close out games is super disappointing at times. Now, it is making it very difficult to go into a second map, of course, after once again bringing it fairly close on map number 1 and then losing it in the end. I hope, though, they found their composure once again and they are ready to kind of bring the fight to Babos Gaming on the.
Do you think it might be? Do you think it's just a question of consistency with mYinsanity, or is Babos Gaming in the end just overall the more solid team?
I think as of right now, Babos Gaming is the more well-rounded team. I do believe they have a slightly better coherence. Coherency? Is that even the word? I don't know. They work together better as of right now as a team compared to mYinsanity, I feel like. And I can't really put my finger on what exactly it is that is holding mYinsanity back as of right now. I really can't say for sure. I know they have very static CT sites, for example. I wish they would go for a bit more of a loose play style here and there. But then again, I know it's not their style. It's not what they're looking for. It's not what their players maybe feel comfortable doing, which is fine. But then you need to, for example, be absolutely able to shut down sites, right? If you let a team execute onto you, then you need to be ready, and you need to be able to consistently get those 2 to 3 kills while defending the site before giving it up, or go for retakes, but then better still not really lose anyone, just go for one pick, fall back, and retake with numbers advantage, and make sure you keep control all throughout the round. And so far, I haven't really been completely sold on mYinsanity take on the CT side. The T sides, they're looking pretty solid. They're looking decently well executed, very nicely organized. And I think the whole team is kind of more at home on the T side as of right now, but CT sides are a bit lacking so far.
Yeah. So now we're heading on to Babos Gaming pick. mYinsanity lost their pick in the first map. Now, of course, heading on to Dust 2, and the server's live, everyone, and we are ready to head into the game. Second map here, mYinsanity starting on the T side. And looking forward to see. mYinsanity needed some time in both the first rounds, or the first halves, to get themselves a foot in the game, to warm up a bit. We'll see if they're warmed up and ready now, as everyone on the T side is approaching the A bomb site at the moment. They already made some space, got some control of deep long, and they're moving up. But there is a player on car. Are they gonna check him? Of course they are. Nits will get taken down. No Rules gets 2 picks, will get taken down in the end. That's some good counter force by No Rules. And Linux will take down Breaker. Now we're in a 3v2 situation. And the retake needed from the side of Babos Gaming. Very difficult situations. Both players coming from CT. Vision is blocked, but there is a gap. And Souths will get spotted out by Duty. Compe will spot the last player and take out Simu as well. Solid first. Execute, take, and after plan from mYinsanity.
Yeah, all around, nicely played. Never really felt like the round was in danger from the mYinsanity side, so solid start, and that definitely will give them the small ego boost they might need after first map, which they obviously lost. Babos Gaming, no surprises here. They force up with Deagles, have 2 smokes and the flash for utility, and who would have thought No Rules on the scout?
So proficient on the scope. Definitely makes sense. 2 rifles on mYinsanity with Linux and Rule on. Bomb now moving into lower tunnels. We'll see where they will take it. So far, not too much information gathered, not too much damage done. Let's see now. Information will be gotten for Babos Gaming. No Rules.
Oh no.
Linux does tank some damage, but so does No Rules here. So pretty equal trade in the end. And mYinsanity a bit stuck in mid. Looks like they will in the end go for the approach onto a short Nits. Can he pick up the flank? Would be pretty huge as mYinsanity is moving on. No Rules gets 1 breaker. Headshot on him. Nits takes down another one while Linux trades No Rules. mYinsanity on the bomb side. Bomb will not go down, and Simu with the Deeg. I mean, they only get 1 of the rifles, but that's just a huge instant turnaround of the early game by Babos Gaming.
Did Linux take out the bomb on site while 1 CT was still fighting them from ramp?
I'm not quite sure. I mean, Souths took it down in the end, but
yeah.
Didn't catch that, sadly.
Oh. Nice pick from Linux. No Rules. Breaker. Good chance, really. Get a trade frag from short. Long player spotted, and Rulon completely whips the shots. This could have been quite a juicy frag onto South. As it stands, though, Sad Man will retake A long, shut down Compe, and push mYinsanity into World of Hurt. After all, should be already pretty low. Duty makes good work on that scout. Might be faced by another one.
Ooh.
Just about snacks that. AK makes his way out. And in a 3v3, this round is absolutely doable. The next gift, the AK, in the hopes of him doing some work with it. Forward flash coming out onto the A-bomb site. Obviously, no one really close by to test that, which might very well net them a short plant, but they all move through the sides. Should be sick shot onto Breaker. And Duty now 1v1. Deagle versus M4. That would have been juicy. Simu certainly at an advantage. Gun-wise, 2 HP. Makes it very, very interesting. But finds Duty in the end. Good effort by mYinsanity.
Yeah, Simu survives with 2 HP on him in the rifle versus Deagle battle. Will prevail in the end, but a little too close for comfort there for Babos Gaming.
Yeah, the fact that only 1 player from Babos Gaming survived obviously will prompt mYinsanity to go for a force here.
Yeah.
In trying to keep the pressure on the Babos Gaming economy. Flashes over long. Swarm of terrorists will move out. No rules. Luckily traded by Sherby, but Linux once again with a frag onto South. Be tipping favor in mYinsanity over to mYinsanity side. Stumbling over words because English is difficult.
Oh, so much utility damage.
Yeah, both eating a nade basically straight to their face, and it's 50 now, 60. The one might find a second one.
Ooh.
Almost made that spray work on compare. But mYinsanity. Their try pays off. They will force Babos Gaming onto an eco. And the forth and back between those two teams continues as mYinsanity move up to 2 as well. South. Good tag onto Compa. I'm pretty sure he doesn't really realize he hit a player there. Or he was blinded before taking the shot. Won't really matter, really. Rulon has hit his home with the scout.
Ooh.
Good tag onto South. That's hurt. As the rest of mYinsanity are setting up to take control over middle. No rules. No surprise there. Is holding it with the scout as of right now. And wait, never mind. Linux finds the frag on short. I was just about to say, if he actually sprayed him down through the smoke into the middle. Oh, nice shot by Rulon there with the scout as well. Finally makes it work from pit. And it's obviously going to be the round pretty much over. A side firmly in control of the terrorists. Plans for long going down as well.
Yeah, trades going back and forth, but in the end, mYinsanity with too much of an advantage here in this round. Emo and No Rules will hold on onto their respective buys. Emo only with the deke though. But yeah, I mean, you said in the last round the decision to force from mYinsanity. I mean, it was pretty much in that situation the only smart decision, and they did prevail in the round. An important win, and yeah, they will take away the advantage here for it and take the lead in the match, 3-2.
Babos Gaming still not really on a solid buy just yet. Obviously with the reworked economy, it does take slightly longer now.
Yeah.
And of course, as it has always been the case, the CT side in general struggling when it comes down to money management. And yeah, no rules, just gets completely demolished.
Yeah, that's a bit devastating. At the start of the round, instantly Souths will pick up his scout. There is a rifle on Simu. He has to be especially careful. Will give it over. Or the scout will be given over to the breaker. Nits pushing up. We'll get the information. As mYinsanity a bit hesitant. Still looking for a potential pick. Of course, there is plenty of time. Nits is pushing up here.
Yeah,
to go for a cheeky flank, maybe.
Feeling it. Linux is ready though. And Simu with the second push walks right into Goody. That man will give it up though, falls back into T-spawn as the rest of his team takes over the control over the A-bomb site. Plan for short will go down immediately. South and Simu. Sure, Simu does have an AK in hand. Would need to go completely mental. Still turn it around. Rulon good tag onto South and CT spawn. Indeed, we'll find the first frag. Rulon takes the eyes off of Linux. Lets him come in, sweep in from the left side, and clear Simu in the end. 4-2, mYinsanity.
And I want to see in the chat, guys, who are you rooting for? What's your prediction here for the second map? Let us know, Babos or mYi. Who's going to take this so far? mYi looking good in the early game. For the first time, getting some early aggression onto the B bomb site.
Good damage done onto Timo as well.
Absolutely.
In general, makes the B bomb site just that tad bit weaker. Might very well prompt them to try B split. Ruler. Let us Mike on the mid doors. mYinsanity definitely very fond of that. After seeing it for a while now. And a complete reshuffle all across the map. The bomb is making its way through T-spawn, closer towards top mid. As mYinsanity is still very patiently waiting for Babos Gaming to make a move. Which, if we look at the radar, is not really coming in the imminent future.
Yeah. Bomb now going into lower tunnels again though. So definitely keeping Babos Gaming guessing what the plan
Rulon,
will be.
is he ready for the CT drop? Now decides against it. Oh, Compe actually that player.
Oh, Compe, he will survive. How did he survive that? Linux and Chevy both get their respective drag onto Nits, and Simo Rulon will pick off no rules. And this turned bad really, really quickly. The breaker, only man alive, all the way back in T-spawn. And that's a done deal for mYinsanity and a 5th round. We'll see if they can pick up the rifle, if they will try to go for it. They are looking and flanking behind A. Could have enough time to pick him off if they have the timing.
Interesting thought for sure, after all.
Ooh.
He is holding an M4.
Yeah,
looking
he's gone.
away, Compe finds them. No safe weapon for Babos Gaming in round number 7, so they will have to play round number 8 only. Maybe a Deagle hero there. Single nade on Simu. Still hoping to see a bit of an 8 stack at some point.
Oof.
Patient by duty.
Fast push coming out of Babos Gaming. As Labs now.
Lovely.
Only one left there. Good pick onto Simu. And now Nits. Only man defending the B side. So is South, but all the way across the map. Nits. Beautiful pick onto Linux. As the players are collapsing towards the B bomb site. And South looking to get some information behind them, but he might be way too late. That's a free bomb site. South has all the information. Gets mollied off and has to go through middle. And still looking pretty aggressive from him. We'll see if he actually goes for this. Yeah, I mean, only Deagle in hand. Definitely can risk it, of course. Yeah, might as well. Exactly. We'll have to see if he can find anything. South. The window position gets spotted out. Not taking any damage so far in that trade. Will find one, but get traded away instantly by the op in Chevy's hand. And that's a 6th round on Babos Gaming pick now on those two. So, I mean, the way you called the picks in the beginning, it seems like it would have been right. It would have been more right than right now because
it seemed more reasonable.
Yeah, absolutely, and it proves to be as well, or to be so. But yeah, mYinsanity 4-round difference here in the second map already. Then round number 9. Not too much aggression on the A-bomb site. Babos Gaming with an aggressive push. As you've seen, it's already in the pit there. Will not be faced with anything. A lot of fighting around mid control right now.
mYinsanity. A really cool default that they have here on Dust 2. not too often contesting for a long control, but really making good use of whatever else they can get on the map, especially constantly pressuring that mid take. Breaker will walk right into Rulon. Once again, Babos Gaming needs to be really, really cautious about that mid to be split, about upper tunnel aggression. And really completely freezes their CT defense. Obviously, since Babos Gaming, they are very well known for those reactionary plays in pushing extremities, which we have seen countered by mYinsanity just around before.
Now the push coming out, no rules. Will get a headshot onto Linux. Nids gets one himself. Shibby picks up South. In the meantime,
It's getting dangerous.
And
Babos Gaming, they might actually make that work. No rules. Once again, picks off another one. 3v2 now. Aggressive peek from Duty into CT will cost him his life. And 1v3, I don't really see Shibby being able to go for that.
Yeah, no.
Better just save your AWP. Concede the round and make sure you get out of there. Sure, they have money for days, but still, no need to really gift Babos Gaming another all for free.
Yeah, absolutely. 6 rounds on mYinsanity. Babos Gaming get themselves one back. And the buys are pretty equal now. And the money or the economy on mYinsanity it's just looking really safe. A lot of money still. So not too much harm done. But we'll have to see how Babos Gaming progresses in this first half.
Interesting decision coming through from Babos Gaming. Not really putting anyone over on A long. Rather, it is going to be Breaker. Kind of holding cross corner from way far back. Would at some point will shuffle around again. Did he go for some mid aggression or take control over short? That's exactly what they're about to do right now. This could be quite annoying for mYinsanity, especially if it stays uncontested. Should be with the AWP, I think, spotted one player, so they need to pull back from short. Otherwise, nades are about to buy in. Linux. Almost with the entry onto the B bomb side.
Yeah, it does get contested a lot here. Bomb still over on the B side. Simu very low. South of Breaker get taken down. Simu gets the trade on the Linux. And now mYinsanity moving in to the window. Simu. Nice pick by him onto Rulon. Shibby misses his shots. No rules with a quick turnaround. Gets it with the AWP. And that's the round over and done for Babos Gaming. Yeah, the execute not quite as clean as we'd hoped to.
I have two weird questions. First of all, how difficult is it for players from middle to wait about 3 seconds until their teammates are ready to push in from tunnels? Mike, okay, no joke, that was sick. I'm fairly certain Duty wasn't even on the screen from no rules. That was such a quick free fire. But coming back to the last round, Shibby turned around, tried to wait for his teammates. Good frag from Compact, found towards the B bomb side. This should actually be quite a challenge for Simu to make it work. Okay, once again, almost hits the spray transfer. Will fall in the end though, and Breaker, lone man surviving, will have to give up that round number 11. Once again, sorry, I was so confused. Shibby turned around, tried to wait for his teammates, spotted a player in bottom middle not looking his way, and decided to go for the duel with his deagle. He had an AWP in his hands, for God's sake.
Yeah. Yeah, totally agree. Not a necessary approach in that situation. Because it seemed pretty secure. But anyway, the bomb, here, does go down. And it seems like it's going to be round number 7 on the board for mYi.
You don't see that too often. 3 players still alive, everyone holding an AWP.
true. I didn't even notice. Yeah, a lot of money to be saved here, as they will do. So what is MY gonna do with those 2 ops though? Or where's the second op gonna go? Probably.
First place, I guess. Duty certainly will
Yeah.
go for that long peak again. After all, he needs to stick it to, well, I guess break it this time around, but doesn't really look like he would contest him.
Nope.
Rather, he'll go for a peek on short, which is pretty cool to see. Linux, and Dragon over towards the B bomb side, or tunnel rather. Now Breaker. Unfortunately, Rulon spots the dome of his head. Will take him out quite handily. Linux keeps on working towards B. Rulon, easy frag of his life onto a running no rules. Alright.
That's well, right. I mean,
honestly, you deserve that, Rulon. He knows it as well. Everybody knows it.
Why not just strafe through the smoke into your own death?
Yeah, with his back turned.
Yeah. South's
crouching.
Yeah, nothing to do for him. Will keep his rifle, hopefully for him. As mYinsanity will take round number 8, as we are heading closer and closer to the end of this first half, and mYinsanity is looking to get themselves a good advantage. Last game, or in the first map, after the first half, it looked very, very equal between both teams. It was 8-8 at one point, so this time around mYinsanity not looking to make it just as close. Let's see if they can hold on to their lead now. 4 rounds advantage for them, which they have to take care of really well now in the upcoming rounds.
Yeah, tactical being called by Babos Gaming, I guess, now is as good a time as any. But yeah, mYinsanity, I really like what they bring to the table here on Dust 2 so far. Certainly a team that is better off leading from the front than coming back into a match. It seems like they play quite a different Counter-Strike while being in the lead. It feels much more fluent and freed up, really.
Yeah.
While Babos Gaming, so far, they haven't really found a consistent way to contest mYinsanity all over the map here. I did like the 2 short pushes. I do believe they were somewhat unlucky. They could have been quite a bit more impactful for the CT side. But sometimes you just need to kind of gloss over these mishaps. And even if a play is the right play, it can still go wrong, right? Should be well positioned, but super aggressive push into underground. That might actually work wonders here. mYinsanity, they do try to scramble up through short. Basically, the one path of advance that is still free. South now together with his teammate. Actually, in time to find Duty. Duty just hanging back a little bit from his team.
And look how much aggression just came out there from Babos Gaming, or from the defenders of the B side. Pushed all the way through, but now bit of a sticky situation here as they're trying to retake the 2 men from short, 1 from CT. Breaker, Simu, and Souths all taken down with a pretty confident hold there on a Compi doing work.
Nice try, Babos Gaming. They most definitely changed it up a bit last round. Really solid push into underpass. Duty once again with attack through middle. This time it is South. Nice shot by Simu. You don't see that every day. And one player is actually pushed up all the way to blue here on a long, and I don't think they have him on the radar. No rules will be checked by Compe once again. Compe with that incredibly thoroughness of his playstyle. As South catches the flash Right in his face. Still good for a frag onto Rulon.
mYinsanity. Approaching the A-bomb side. Should be pretty easily taken the bomb. More than enough time to put down, but Linux still... Oh, that's such a beautiful play. I mean... yeah, who predicts that? Who predicts Linux to still be there? The timing was perfect. And Linux still on the flank, waiting for those rotations onto short. Beautiful stuff, takes down the last two. And that's the 10th round now for mYinsanity as we head into the last round of the first half. And again, these tags onto Babos Gaming, they always start with a disadvantage. And I mean, it's proven to be so huge. Unbelievable stuff.
Yeah. And right on into the B-bomb side we go. Rulon actually already hopping up onto that double stack close to tunnels. Bit of a obvious play, maybe.
Yeah.
See if he's all ready for it.
Bit cocky maybe from him, just to go in there straight away, but didn't get anything out of it.
And still, if they actually aren't looking your way, it could be... What the hell?
Linux.
Okay. Alright then, son.
That's just brilliant. Brilliant.
Only Simon on his 18 HP. Duty not gonna miss that opportunity. Takes him down. Even makes a statement by putting it right between his eyes. And yeah, what can you say? Mitz even says nice shot. Linux with the 6 spray transfer in middle. Picks up 2, opens it up for the split and breaker, as well as no rules. A little bit of a futile attempt of a retake to be full. Obviously, he's in prime positions, and mYinsanity indeed empty half on 11 rounds. Would you look at that?
I mean, yeah, the start was a bit back and forth, you could say. But yeah, in the end, mYinsanity now on 11 points. And I'm starting to question the Dust 2 pick a little bit for Babos Gaming. It seems like, yeah, did not quite work as expected for them. But yeah, mYinsanity looking strong. 11-4. And Kairos, this map could be over pretty quickly, depending on how this the start of the second half goes.
Yeah, well, let's face it. If mYinsanity manage to pick up the pistol, this could be over in an instant.
Yeah.
And guess what? We will be watching basically a moving scoreboard. Well,
yeah.
Never mind.
I can go into the pause menu so we
yeah.
can see the game at least. But yeah.
Oh, I see. Yeah, okay.
The bug is ever returning. You'll have to.
I was so confused. I thought you actually somehow found a fix for it.
Not quite yet. We'll have to look at that. But yeah, Linux already gets a pick onto South. Breaker gets one onto Shubi. As the A-bomb site will be picked up by Babos Gaming pretty solidly, and it's 4v4 now.
Interesting retake there from the mYinsanity side. 4 players are moving towards long, so it will be a bit of a pain train coming through towards player hiding in pit.
Ooh.
Flashes are good though.
Simu.
No rules. MVP of the round. Leads compound rule onto the desk.
Yeah.
Close into CT. Could at least get one nice double kill from him onto Linux and Duty. And Babos Gaming staying a bit more relevant here in this second map.
Yeah. Solid first round. That's definitely what they needed to go into this. And now an A stack coming out from Babos Gaming with the SMG. Savs already going out. Rulon will get taken down, but Savs gets traded away. And the rotations are coming out from the mYinsanity side. 3 players defending the A-bomb side. 1 still trying to hold for mid control as all of the Babos Gaming players are... Did they spot him?
No, they didn't. He actually flashed himself out perfectly. And with Compe... Okay, never mind. They actually checked.
Yeah.
Oh, God.
Compe takes
very
down
quick frag.
2. Breaker will shut him down in the end, but now we're in a 2v2 situation. Shobi on 6 HP, and the bomb will go down. This retake could prove to be quite the challenge for mYinsanity here.
They will certainly need to wait out that Molotov. Shobi 6 HP. Gonna get exactly 1 chance for a kill. We have still a player basically standing on right on the bomb. I would like to, yeah. I would have liked for them to switch weapons there. After all, Shobi 6 HP, you get 1 shot only anyway, so might as well try the scout. While the player with more HP actually try and make the Mech 10 work. But then again, you know,
in the heat of the moment, didn't quite.
Yeah, and even still, it is still a retake 2v2 on B-bomb side, so you're fighting the odds anyways.
Now Rifles versus the save by Linux gets 1, but will get traded away instantly. Rulon takes on South now. mYinsanity with the advantage, but a good nade chunks out a lot of damage from 2D.
I like mYinsanity's plays here. That is so cool. Linux ready for the first frag, and instantly 3 CTs run out from CT. Here's a second killing Compe through the smoke onto a crossing mid. How incredibly unlucky can you be? The fact that that shot actually connected was absolutely bonkers. Once again, 3 players through long. Duty gives it up his life for his teammates for a chance of a retake, but
Shobi though, on the flank.
Yeah, it'll be all Shobi. Rulon died a little bit too early. And let's face it, no way.
Nope.
Get past no rules. So Simo and no rules, they will split all the frags between them. And Babos Gaming slowly but surely is closing in on mYinsanity. To 7, but finally CT side with goodbye round.
Aggressive A hold from the CT side. As Babos Gaming already approaching short. Bomb still all the way down in spawn. Nothing decided yet. They are looking to have that mid control for Babos Gaming. And the bomb site has been left for the moment. Salves goes in, takes down Compe. Now possibility to go to the B bomb site, but Linux is right there to hold it down. It gets both players down. Very low HP, of course. And now the rest of the players. Good flash. Oh, Linux takes down 4 in the round. The flash was perfect. And just completely takes them apart.
Absolute masterclass shown there by Linux. If you want to know how to contest mid as well as holding the B bomb site, that's one way to do it. Take notes. Compo with the boost in CT spawn. I feel like we don't really see that as often as we should. Still such a viable position. Cute frag, Duty. Might find a second one. South completely blinded, not really much to do there. In the meantime, Shobi finds a frag onto Simo and only 2 players left. After not even half a minute into the round, it is Nits and no rules. And Compe already closing in on them towards mid. Not entirely sure whether he actually heard them. Could be.
Yeah.
We do see Rulon making his way as well. That might be covering Compe's former angle.
Yeah, mYinsanity not giving them a slither of space, not a slither of a chance for anything to open up. They will, of course, on the safe by attempt to go onto the B bomb side, but Compe is there together with Linux, will shut it right down. No, sir, they say. And yeah, mYinsanity looking good. That's a 6-round lead for them here in the map, in the second map. After the first map, of course, was 16-13 in favor of Babos Gaming. mYinsanity not looking to make it as close. No Rules gets an instant shot onto Linux down mid. That's beautiful stuff by the Scope Master.
Yeah, and mYinsanity obviously needs to scramble towards the B-bomb site. Chance of still holding it. After all, those 4-man A-long contests are certainly really cool, and it will catch your opponent off guard if they do try to go for a long control early round.
Yeah.
But as soon as they actually realize what's happening, the gist is up and you basically can't really do it again. After all, it is quite easily exploitable by just sending one player towards B early round. But then again, committing on a B rush is very, very tricky and not as easy to do because it seems so incredibly dangerous.
Compare in the battle takes down one, but two players each will get shut down.
Super fast flank coming in from Rulon.
Yeah, they will take down the bomb carrier and breaker as well. Yeah, as you said, beautiful flank by Rulon. That's the 14th round for mYinsanity, and it's getting closer and closer, Kairos. 2 more rounds between them and the equal series. We'll see if they can prevail here. They are against the safe buy or in an anti-eco at the moment.
It is actually a complete force because Babos Gaming, they don't really want to play for overtime. So
yeah,
they throw everything
they don't have, yeah,
in this round that they have.
Absolutely,
It's going
not
to be
much.
legal, and well, it's really not. No, their buy is significantly lacking. But then again, what chance do you really have, realistically?
Nah.
7-14, it is a rough one. Rulon, easy bait and switch onto south. Sherby finds one on short with the AWP compa, easy frag against the flashed Simu, and it's no rules. At least a bomb plant. Now we can go from here. Molotov onto the side, Linux with a nade as well. That actually takes quite a good of chunk HP off of no rules. And Nitz trying to save his height, not gonna work out too well. And 3 players stay alive for mYinsanity. They secure round number 15, and with that, my goodness, a bunch of map points. Quick mass, I'm too tired.
There's got to be a pause coming out here, right? No? Babos Gaming will pull through. mYinsanity on map point. Babos Gaming only with 7th rounds counted for themselves. We'll see what they choose to go for. That's an aggressive rush. A lot of flashes coming out into A long. They get molded off and a bit delayed here. That's the fast push. Will give them some space on the map, but not a lot of advantage in itself. Simu with the... or Linux with the aggressive pick. Will take down Simu. And mYinsanity now again in the advantage. South gets a frag onto Compe. As they are looking for the A side. They will get the bomb down, and now the retake has to be cleaned by mYinsanity here. Babos Gaming could stay alive. Didu will take down Souths as a duty, as he will come out of CT.
I like Didu.
Didu is cool as well. It works. It works. I'm not quite sure if he likes it. Sherby together. His teammate will come out short. No rules. Takes down one. We'll get a lot of information here. Rulon still way back here. Takes down the pit player.
Well played, Rulon.
No rules. Yeah.
Oh, that's actually the round for the Babos
That's
Gaming.
huge from No Rules there to stay alive and keep them guessing. That's an 8th round of mYinsanity. Not quite over yet.
Bit of a Hail Mary, but it works out for No Rules this time around at least. 2 rounds, 2 kills. 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 2 And let's have a look at these buys. Babos Gaming, obviously, they lost every single player, so they need to rebuy everything.
Yeah.
Quick push into underpass. Maybe a quick mid-aggression here from the terrorists. Out middle through the smoke. That's ambitious. And do they just hold mouse one?
No.
Timu even kills his teammate, and that's going to be a bit of a rough one to digest. Okay, never mind.
Okay.
Still up and fighting.
They equal out. It's 3 versus 3 now. Bomb's still in mid. They have a lot of control there. But that was very chaotic at the start of the round. We'll see where they take the bomb. It looks like gonna be short. And Shubi in pit with the op. The only player in range to defend the execute. As they should take the side pretty freely. We'll see if Shubi can get an instant pick on the bomb carrier. They will plant it for short, of course, as they take out Rulon, who tries to go for an aggressive pick instantly. Shubi still on long with the up, together with Linux now, trying to win them the round. Linux gets one pick. Shubi now gets a second one. The breaker now. Last one to keep Babos Gaming alive, but will get taken down by Linux from short. That's GG and mYinsanity take Dust 2 versus Babos Gaming and equalize the series. That's a 1-1 for the day. And mYinsanity, great performance, brilliant on Dust 2 here.
Yeah, that was something.
The end was so hectic, like the last few rounds.
Yeah, but then again, you tend to get that if one team is so far behind.
Yeah,
and it looks almost a bit futile from fighting round after round after round. It's just such a monster undertaking, really, to fight back into overtime at that point. So you basically go for wild plays and you take your chances. As long as it works, then fine. But eventually, statistically, one of those rounds, it'll go south, and just like that, you lose the game.
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah, that mid aggression in the end looked a bit wonky. Might have cost them a lot.
Yeah.
But yeah, mYinsanity take the second map. Babos Gaming will take the first one on Mirage. Of course, that's one win for each team. So you can say congrats to Babos Gaming and mYinsanity on today's performance. Second stream in the season, still or two tie games, 1-1. Babos Gaming. I think in general they're a pretty well-rounded team, but if they keep playing Dust 2 on stream, I'm not quite sure how it's going to go for them going forward.
I actually just asked Linux whether or not that is a mistake on our side, or whether they actually picked Mirage. And yeah, he confirmed it that's actually the case.
It was the
I
pick.
still
Okay.
can't understand it. I don't really see. I did predict. I did predict it the other way around, and it, to me at least, it looked quite obvious that Mirage was certainly more suitable for Babos Gaming than Dust 2 for.
Yeah, it would have made so much
You know,
sense. But yeah,
I guess it's whatever, bro. So works out. I had an entertaining time for sure, and I guess next time might be the other way around then.
Absolutely. So yeah, thank you so much for being with me again. We will be back next week, of course, once more as the duo, and I think after that Remo will take my place as he will join the casting talent here in the spring season of the Swiss Esports League by Brock. Guys, thank you so much everyone for playing, for watching, for being here with us and enjoying some good Swiss Counter-Strike. I really hope you had a great time. We definitely did in those two matches. And again, congrats to mYinsanity and Babos Gaming for their respective wins here in week number 2. I think, not much more to say than enjoy your Easter weekend. Gonna be a long one. Have some time to chill, some time to play, then hopefully we'll see you guys next week. Of course, always Wednesday here on SEL _CS. I hope you'll be back. We will definitely be back next week. So enjoy your time. Until then, have a great one, and see you soon.
Take care.
Close through the night, I won't let go until the sunrise. These open highways are calling our name, and now it's time for us to escape. Wave goodbye to your city life, and say hello to the desert sky. These open highways are calling our name, and now it's time for us to escape.